Yeah, good morning to all of you. Is my voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
I think some of you are joined from Gurkha College. Yes, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to share some information as we are already started the class from 3rd of May. So till now we have completed 11 lecture. Okay. So basically I have completed the module 1. Okay. Whatever module can go through the syllabus. So we are completing module 1 part, which is basically your regarding introduction part of images. So basically what you mean by image, what are the different types of image we are having, how do you convert the normal analog image to digital image, then how to represent the digital image in the matrix format. Fine. So that's these things are already discussed. So you can go through the YouTube link which we are regularly sharing the classes. Okay. Still, if you are having any doubt, so we will conduct a doubt session. Okay. Whenever we will get time. Okay. जब भी time मिलेगा आपको, so I will try to conduct some classes so that we can cover what lecture we have missed. Fine. So at present we are discussing about what are the relationship between the pixels. Okay. On that we already covered the neighborhood relationship and the connectivity between the two pixels. Fine. तो यहाँ पे हम लोगों ने cover किया. ठीक है? Is it clear to all of you? Yeah. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay. So we will wait for a minute to let others join. So yeah, go ahead. So I think most of you are joined. Okay, so what we are discussing in the last class, can anyone elaborate it? क्या हम लोग डिस्कस किया था लास्ट क्लास में? So we are discussing about connectivity between the 2 points. Okay, so if there are 2 pixels or basically 2 pixels, I can say, If there are two pixels P and Q, fine. So we have studied the relationship of connectivity between these two pixels P and Q. And we have also learned there are three different types of connectivity. Okay. The first one is called 4 connectivity, second one is called 8 connectivity, and the third one is called M connectivity. Okay, so when I can say these two pixels are connected, only if their intensity level, that means intensity level of P must be equal to the intensity level of Q. This is the first property that must be satisfied. Clear? So this is the first property for the connectivity. That means the intensity level of these 2 points or these 2 pixels should be same. Okay. So when I can say that 2 pixels are 4 connected, if their intensity are same and Q is belonging to 4 and 4P, okay, and 4P, that means Q must be belonging to 4 neighbor of P. Then if this case is satisfied, then I can say it is a 4 connectivity. Similarly, when I can say it is 8 connectivity, now the intensity level will be same. Okay. Intensity of Fp should be equal to intensity of Fq, and Q must be belonging to 8 neighbor of pixel P. Or I can say the Q must be belonging to either 4 neighbor of pixel P union 4 diagonal neighbor of pixel P. Either of these, either they belonging to 4 neighbor of P or they belonging to 4 diagonal neighbor of pixel P. Then we have introduced a new connectivity called M connectivity. So why we are using M connectivity? What is the reason behind that? Anyone? What is the main reason behind that? What is the main reason we have studied the M connectivity? So as we can see in the case of 8 connectivity, there are some multiple paths. Okay. So for example, suppose there is a pixel P, Q, and R. So we are coming across some situation where there is a 2 path to reach it from P to R. That may be the path may be P, Q, and R, or there is a direct path from P to R. To eliminate the multiple path concept, okay, to eliminate the multiple path concept, we introduce the M connectivity between the 2 pixels. So when I can say 2 pixels are M connected, now there is certain rules. Again, the rule is same. The intensity level of P should be equal to the intensity level of Q, and the first property is Q must be belonging to N4 neighbor of P. Okay, or if Q is belonging to 8 or diagonal neighbor of P, then there should be a condition that to satisfy, that is 4 neighbor of P intersection 4 neighbor of Q should be equal to 5. This condition should be satisfied in case of M connectivity. Fine, this we have discussed in the previous class. Okay, so let's move to the third property that we are going to discuss today. Okay, which is called adjacent between the 2 pixels. How to find whether the 2 pixels are adjacent or not, or adjacency between the 2 pixels. Fine. So based on the connectivity, there are 3 types of adjacency we are having. One is called 4 adjacency. If the pixel P and Q, if the pixel P and Q are 4 connected. Okay, if I say the pixel P and Q are 4 connected, then I can say the pixel P and Q are 4 adjacency. Similarly, if the pixel P and Q are 8 connected, okay, or 8 connectivity, pixel P and Q are having 8 connectivity, then I can say the pixel P and Q are 8 adjacency. Similarly, when I can say it is M adjacency, if the pixel P and Q are M connectivity, if the pixel P and Q are M connectivity, then I can say these 2 pixels are 8 adjacency. Okay, so depend upon the connectivity. Okay, how the adjacent between the 2 pixels are decided, it depends upon the connectivity. What connectivity we are having, then depend upon that we can find the adjacency between the 2 pixels. Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear? Now, what is the application? Now, if you are able to find the adjacent point for a pixel, okay, now we can apply that to find the which region in my image are adjacent to each other. For example, okay, let me take an example. Suppose there is an image. Suppose this is my image. Okay, this is my image. Fine. Now, suppose I'm considering two subset or two region. Okay, let us name this region as, let the name of this region is Si and name of this region is Sj. Okay, so while using the adjacency between the two pixels, I can find, okay, I can find whether the two region or the two object, I can say this is object region anything are same. ठीक है, either आप ऑब्जेक्ट बोलो या फिर रीजन बोलो, बोथ आर सेम. फाइन. अगर दो ऑब्जेक्ट है, ठीक है, तो हम लोग क्या पता कर सकते हैं एडजेसेंसी से, दो ऑब्जेक्ट एडजेसेंट है कि नहीं. तो कैसे पता करना है दो ऑब्जेक्ट एडजेसेंट है कि नहीं. नाउ सपोज P इज एनी पिक्सल और P इज एनी पॉइंट बिलोंगिंग टू द रीजन Si and Q is any point belonging to region Sj. Fine. I am saying a P is any point or any pixel in a region Si and Q is any point in a region Sj. Okay. Then I can say, so when I can say Si and Sj are adjacent region, okay, when I can say these two regions are adjacent if and only if these 2 points are adjacent. That means if these 2 points are adjacent, then I can say these two regions are adjacent. Now these 2 points can be adjacent in any manner. Okay, either it can be a 4 adjacency, either it can be a 8 adjacency, or either it can be a m adjacency. Okay, तो अभी मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या हुआ. नाउ इफ यू एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई द एडजेसेंट region, okay, or adjacent region, now we can find some of the property of that region. Okay, if the two regions are adjacent, then obviously these two will be represent the same object. So main motive is that. Fine. मेन मोटिव क्या है एडजेसेंसी निकालने का. हम लोग को पता कर सकते हैं कि किस रीजन में, ओके, वेदर दो जो रीजन है या दो जो ऑब्जेक्ट है वो एडजेसेंट है कि नहीं. क्यों पता करना है? अगर वो एडजेसेंट है तो हम लोग को ये पता चलेगा दोनों ऑब्जेक्ट या दोनों रीजन में सम प्रॉपर्टी, कुछ प्रॉपर्टी है जो कि कॉमन है. इज इट क्लियर हाउ टू फाइंड adjacency between two regions? If I say these two regions Si and Sj are adjacent if and only if the point P and Q or the pixel P and Q must be adjacent in any of the sense. That means it can be adjacent in 4 adjacency, 8 या फिर m. When it is possible, if they have the connectivity, if P and Q are connected either by 4 connectivity, either by 8 connectivity, or by m connectivity. Okay, is it clear to all of you? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So,
Yes, sir.
okay, so this is something about how to find adjacency between two regions, okay, or two objects in a given image. Fine. So next is called, next property जो है आपका हम बोलते हैं हम लोग path. Okay, how to find the path. Okay, path is next important property. Next property number 4. Okay, property number 4. How to find the path of any path between any pixel. Fine, or any point. Path between any point. Now, how the path is defined? So a path from a point, I'm saying the point, suppose point P is having the coordinate x and y, okay, to the point. Now the path between the point P to the point Q, okay, having the coordinate s and t, is defined as, okay, is defined as, or is nothing but sequence of distinct pixel, okay, or sequence of different pixel that will be lie, okay, that will be lie or connected to form a path. Now अगर क्या बोलते हैं हम लोग, अगर पॉइंट P से पॉइंट Q तक पाथ फाइंड करना है, तब पॉइंट P से पॉइंट Q के बीच क्या होगा, देयर विल बी नंबर ऑफ इंटरमीडिएट पिक्सेल्स, कैसे नो, अगर पॉइंट P से पॉइंट Q तक जाना है तो क्या होगा, वहां पर नंबर ऑफ इंटरमीडिएट पिक्सल होगा. नाउ सपोज नेम देम R M N O. Okay. Now this sequence of distinct pixels together are called path. Okay. Now this can be represented as, now suppose the coordinates start with x0, y0. Okay. So the path will be represented as the first point x0, y0. The next point will be x1, y1. Next coordinate. Next will be x2, y2. Okay. Next will be x3, y3. Now this will be continue up to x and yn. Fine. Where your x0, y0 represent your starting point, which is P, and the x and y1 represent your ending point Q. जिसके बीच में path find करना है. So suppose I want to path find करना है P से Q. So starting point will be your x0, y0, the initial point, and the ending point will be x and y1, and these are called intermediate, and all these are called intermediate points. Okay, intermediate point. Okay, now this can be represented as xi. In general, I can represent as xi and yi. Okay, xi and yi. Now one thing was remember, now these points should be adjacent to each other. That means if I say xi, yi. Okay, what is my next point? My next point should be xi plus 1 and yi plus 1. है कि नहीं? और इससे पहला वाला पॉइंट क्या होगा, xi minus 1, yi minus 1. Now these points are should be adjacent. अगर ये adjacent नहीं हुआ, then it cannot be form a path और sequence of distinct element नहीं form. ठीक है, आपको याद रखना ये पॉइंट. Now this value xi, yi should be adjacent to each other. That means ये जो पॉइंट्स हम लोगों ने किया है, ठीक है, R, M, N, O क्या था, इंटरमीडिएट पॉइंट था इन बिटवीन द टू पिक्सल वेयर वी आर फाइंडिंग द पाथ. P से Q तक पाथ निकाल रहे हैं, और ये सब मेरा क्या है, इंटरमीडिएट पॉइंट है. ठीक है, अब ये इंटरमीडिएट पॉइंट कैसे चूज करना है, ये इंटरमीडिएट पॉइंट एडजेसेंट होना चाहिए. अगर ये एडजेसेंट है तो क्या होना चाहिए, इनके बीच में कनेक्टिविटी होना चाहिए, तभी हम ये सीक्वेंस, ये पॉइंट को पाथ आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं. फाइन. So these are some point you have to remember about the path. Okay, path is nothing but a sequence of distinct pixel, and this distinct pixel should be adjacent to each other. Fine. And the starting point is your first pixel, which is represented by x0, y0, and the ending point will be your last pixel जिसके बीच में path निकालना, which is represented by xn, y1, and the length of the path is given by n. Okay, and the length of the path is given by n, which is nothing but number of we can say number of points or number of pixels that are appear in between P and Q. Fine, this is called length of the path. So is it clear what you mean by path? Is it clear what is path between two pixels?
Yes, sir.
Clear? What is path?
Yes.
Anything? So again, path is very important because while using the path, we will now going to find connected component. Okay, connected component find करेंगे. Okay. So path is nothing but it is a distinct or different set of point or sequence of point that will be in between the 2 points in which we have to want to find the actual path. Now if I want to find the path with P and Q, these are the point pixel, and that this pixel should be adjacent to each other. This pixel should be connected. ऐसा नहीं है कि एक point ले लिया हम लोग A, okay, Now suppose A is not connected to any of this. Now I cannot consider this coordinate xy in my sequence. Okay. Okay. So if it is clear, so we will move on to the next property, property number 5, which is very important, which is called connected component. Okay. So we will discuss connected component. So let me first explain what we mean by connected component. Then we will discuss how to find a connected component. Okay, how we will able to find the connected component. Take the whiteboard. Now suppose, now let us consider, suppose, so we are discussing the property number 5, which is called connected component. Okay, so let me explain what we mean by the connected component. Now suppose this is my image I. Okay, any image I we are taking. Now consider this is a region, or I can say the sub image of I. Okay, that is named as S. Okay, so now what is S? S is nothing but a region, or I can say a sub image of I, or a part of image. Okay, so I've taken a part of image. Now in this part of image, suppose I'm having 2 points. Okay, now I'm having 2 points here. Now P is 1 point, or Q is 2 point. And I can say 2 pixels. Suppose I'm taking 2 pixels, P is 1 pixel. Okay, and the second pixel Q. So both the pixels are within this region or within this subgraph. Okay, so when I can say, the question is now, when I can say these 2 pixels are in same component, कब हम बोलेंगे ये 2 पिक्सल जो है P and Q एक ही component को belong करता है? कब बोल सकते हैं हम लोग? कब बोल सकते हैं? Getting my point? Now what I'm trying to explain, there is an image called I. Okay, entire image. Suppose this is 256 cross 256 of size. Okay. Now what I have done, so I have taken a part of image. Okay. तो entire image से हम लोगों ने एक subset लिया. Fine. और उस subset में 2 point में ले रहा हूँ P and Q, which is inside that subset. Fine. So when I can say this 2 point, ये दोनों point, कब हम बोल सकते हैं दोनों पॉइंट एक ही सबसेट को बिलोंग करेगा? कब बोल सकते हैं? when these 2 points are connected. If these 2 points are connected. Okay, now we are taking, हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, these 2 points are belong to same subset, and if these 2 points are connected. Okay, so if this is connected, now if this is a connected, then what does this mean? Now how we will connect this point? Now there will be a number of intermediate points. Yes or no? There will be a number of intermediate points. Now let me consider this point as a B, C, like this. Okay. Now what happens if I can say that these 2 points are from connected component? If there is a path, between these 2 points P and Q. Okay. So how we can say this is connected component? The P and Q, the pixel P and Q are connected component or belonging to the same component if there exists a path from P to Q. Fine. Now what will happen? Now if you consider any point within this subset. Okay, now suppose these are the points in my subset. Now अगर मैं P को सभी points से connect करूंगा, क्या होगा? There will be obvious a path from every point, है कि नहीं? Because all these points are belonging to the same region. Now all these points, so whatever point I take inside this sub region, what will happen? Now this will be connected to the point P. Because what is the reason? What is the reason? Because I will have a path from this P to every point. Now all these points which is belonging to this is sub region or sub image are called connected component. Now suppose I name this component as A, suppose this coordinate B, this coordinate C, D and Q. Fine. So these are the coordinates. So what are the connected components in this in my graph? The connected components are P, Q, A, B, C, D. Okay, so what are the P, Q, A, B, D, C? These are the pixel which is present in my sub graph. Is it clear to all of you what you mean by connected component? Connected component क्या था? These are the pixel which is belonging to the same subgraph, and there will be a path. Okay, there will be a path from a, suppose this is my original pixel or original origin point. Then there will be a path from P to Q. There will be a path from P to A. There will be a path from A to B. Then I can say these are all my connected component. So what will be the benefit of identifying the connected component? क्या फायदा होगा? फायदा क्या होगा? कोई बता सकता है? What is the benefit of getting the connected component? So if I find the connected component, suppose I say this set of pixels are connected or they are connected component, then what is the benefit? What is the benefit? Yes, anyone? What is the benefit of finding the connected component? What is the benefit? Now benefit is, as there are belonging to the same region, as we are identified that they are all connected components, then they must have the same property. Okay, पहले क्लास में बताया था ना, सपोज दिस इज माय इमेज, अगर हम इसको सेगमेंटेशन करते हैं, सेगमेंटेशन करने से क्या होगा? इट विल डिवाइड द एंटायर इमेज इनटू टू कैटेगरी. One is your object, second one is your background. But what is the difficulty there? You cannot analyze the property of the object. You cannot identify the property of the object. Now suppose the image contains two objects. Okay, the image contains two objects. Now after segmentation, I can easily identify there are two objects which is present in my image, but I cannot analyze or study the property of this object. To study the property of this object, okay, I have to identify the pixel which is belonging to this particular object. Okay, now suppose these are the pixel belonging to this object, and there are other set of pixel which are belonging to this object. So what I can say now, I can differentiate. Now the pixel P is belonging to this one, so this will have some property. And suppose there is a pixel M which is belonging to the object 2, then we can say this will have some property. Now suppose again the pixel Q, so I can easily say this is a connected component because there is a path between P and Q and they are both belong to the same region, then they must have the same property. That means while identifying the connected component, we will able to identify some of the properties. Okay, some of the region properties. Okay, some of the region properties of the image. Okay, some of the region property of the image or some of the region property of the object, such as what is the shape of the region, what are the area covered by the region, or what are the boundary value of the region, and some of the feature extraction process. Okay, belonging to the same area and the boundary value. Okay, based on this same area and boundary value region, I can extract some of the feature of the object. Fine. So this actually meant by what you mean by the connected component. So connected component are nothing but, I can say, any two pixel often connected component are connected to each other. So if I take any two pixel P and Q, okay, of the connected component, if I say these are the connected component, then they are connected to each other. Similarly, what will be the reverse of it? If any two distant pixel, okay, if any two pixel which are not in a connected component, they are belonging to disjoint or different component. If they are not connected, then they are belonging to different component. If they are connected, they are belonging to the same region. Clear? Is it clear what we mean by connected component?
Yes, sir.
So now
सर अगर कनेक्टेड नहीं रहेगा तो रीजन भी अलग रहेगा.
रीजन भी अलग रहेगा. मैं अभी दिखाते हैं. देखो फॉर एग्जांपल दिस वन. नाउ कमिंग बैक टू दिस एग्जांपल. ओके, नाउ दिस इज सपोज माय इमेज. ठीक है, ये मेरा इमेज है. तो इसमें दो रीजन है. एक आपका ये रीजन हो गया, ठीक है, और दूसरा आपका कौन सा रीजन है? ये रीजन. तो वाइल सेगमेंटेशन हम लोग आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं कि ये मेरा एक ऑब्जेक्ट है, ऑब्जेक्ट 1, ठीक है, और ये मेरा ऑब्जेक्ट 2 है. ठीक है. अब अभी क्या होगा, लेकिन हम लोग ये आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर पाएंगे ये जो पिक्सल्स है कौन से ऑब्जेक्ट को बिलोंग कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि सबका वैल्यू क्या होगा? अभी सबका वैल्यू 1 होगा. ठीक है. हम लोग सेगमेंटेशन कैसे करते थे? वी टेक ए थ्रेशोल्ड वैल्यू. अगर हम लोग का एफ ऑफ एक्स वाई मतलब इंटेंसिटी ऑफ द एफ ऑफ एक्स वाई इज ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू थ्रेशोल्ड वैल्यू, देन हम उस पिक्सल को क्या असाइन करेंगे? 1. तब इस केस में क्या होगा? सबका जो थ्रेशोल्ड वैल्यू है वो 1 से ज्यादा होगा, क्योंकि यू बिलोंगिंग टू द ऑब्जेक्ट. सो ऑल विल बी द 1. ठीक है, ऑल विल बी 1. ऑल द थ्रेशोल्ड वैल्यू इज 1. ठीक है. लेकिन अब मुझे पता नहीं चलेगा कि कौन कौन सा 1. ठीक है. everyone having the name also. Suppose this is P Q R S T. Now I will not able to identify which pixel is belonging to which object. ठीक है. To identify which pixel is belonging to which object, I have to find the connected component. That means which pixels are forming connected component. So once I find the connected component, so what I was able to identify, I will able to identify the region of that object. Okay, suppose I say set of pixel P, Q, R, and S are belonging to object 1. When I can say this belonging to object 1, if they are forming a connected component. So when they can form the connected component, if there is a path between each of this pixel. Suppose there is a pixel, this one M. इसको नाम देते हैं M. Now I can clearly identify that M is not belonging to object 1. M is not belonging to object 1. How can say? Because there is a no path between. Suppose this is my P. अभी pixel लेते हैं P. Now I can easily identify there is a no path between P and M. Path है क्या? Path नहीं है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर क्या है? डिसकंटिन्यूटी है कि नहीं? अगर यहाँ पर पाथ नहीं है तो ये कनेक्टेड कंपोनेंट नहीं होगा. अगर ये कनेक्टेड कंपोनेंट नहीं है तो ये इस रीजन को बिलोंग ही नहीं करेगा. फाइन. तो कनेक्टेड कंपोनेंट फाइंड करने का मेन रीजन है आप रीजन को आइडेंटिफाई करोगे. आर फॉर्मिंग कनेक्टेड. Once I find the connected component, so what I was able to identify, I will able to identify the region of that object. Okay, suppose I say set of pixel P, Q, R, and S are belonging to object 1. When I can say this belonging to object 1, if they are forming a connected component. So when they can form the connected component, if there is a path between each of this pixel. Suppose there is a pixel, this one M. इसको नाम देते हैं M. Now I can clearly identify that M is not belonging to object 1. M is not belonging to object 1. How can say? Because there is a no path between. Suppose this is my P. अभी pixel लेते हैं P. Now I can easily identify there is a no path between P and M. Path है क्या? Path नहीं है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर क्या है? डिसकंटिन्यूटी है कि नहीं? अगर यहाँ पर पाथ नहीं है तो ये कनेक्टेड कंपोनेंट नहीं होगा. अगर ये कनेक्टेड कंपोनेंट नहीं है तो ये इस रीजन को बिलोंग ही नहीं करेगा. फाइन. तो कनेक्टेड कंपोनेंट फाइंड करने का मेन रीजन है आप रीजन को आइडेंटिफाई करोगे और उस रीजन को लेबलिंग करेंगे हम लोग. व्हाट वी विल डू? वी विल लेबल. तो यहाँ पर देखो, आप देख सकते हो जब हम लोग कनेक्टेड कंपोनेंट फाइंड किए, so when we have find the connected component, I divide the entire image into 2 levels. This is a region 1 which is having the level path path between each of these pixels. Suppose there is a pixel, this one M. इसको नाम देते हैं M. Now I can clearly identify that M is not belonging to object 1. M is not belonging to object 1. How can say? Because there is no path between. Suppose this is my P. अभी pixel लेते हैं P. Now I can easily identify there is no path between P and M. Path है क्या? Path नहीं है क्योंकि यहाँ पर क्या है? Discontinuity है कि नहीं? अगर यहाँ पर path नहीं है तो ये connected component नहीं होगा. अगर ये connected component नहीं है तो ये इस region को belong ही नहीं करेगा. Fine. तो connected component find करने का main reason है आप region को identify करोगे और उस region को labeling करेंगे आप लोग. What we will do? We will लेवल. तो यहाँ पर देखो आप देख सकते हो जब इस हम लोग कनेक्टेड कंपोनेंट फाइंड किए, so when we have find the connected component, I divide the entire image into two levels. This is a region 1 which is having the level 1. Level 1 है, ठीक है, level 1. So we are color this pixel with yellow color. So now what we will identify, the yellow color pixel are having level 1 and they are belonging to region 1. Similarly, आप यहाँ पे देखोगे these are the pixel with the brown color. Okay, now I can say this is level 2. ठीक है, अब level 2 बोले, level 2 का कलर क्या दिया हम लोग? Brown. Now I can identify easily the pixel which is belonging to this region are having different level. So what is the benefit of labeling or finding the connecting component? Now connected component labeling is a fundamental step to automate the automated image analysis, such as finding the shape निकाल सकते हैं image का, finding the area covered by the image. Third one is boundary value. I can identify the boundary value which can be used for feature extraction के लिए आपको use होगा, feature extraction के लिए आप use कर सकते हो. Fine. तो सबसे important क्या है? Once you identify the pixel which is belonging to the object, okay, now you have to find the region. Okay, once you find the region, you must able to label them. Label them मतलब label करने से अब हम लोग easily identify कर सकते हैं कि कौन सा pixel किस object को belonging करता है. Is it any doubt regarding this connectivity or connected component? What do you think by connected component? Yes? Any doubt? Any doubt what is meant by connected component and why we are performing connected component? So connected component इसलिए find कर रहे हैं ताकि हम लोग different region को identify कर सके, identify करने के बाद हम उसको labeling कर सके. Fine. So now the question comes, sir, how we can label it or how we can perform the labeling. अभी suppose आप image will be given, लेकिन अभी हम लोग को क्या करना है? हम लोग को अभी ऐसे लेबलिंग करना है. जैसे अब यहाँ पे दो लेबलिंग किया है ना इन्होंने, जैसे आप यहाँ देख सकते हो, इस स्लाइड में देख सकते हो, ये हम लोग का इनपुट इमेज था. ना सबका इंटेंसिटी 1 था, जो व्हाइट है इंटेंसिटी 1 है, बाकी सबका इंटेंसिटी 0 है, क्योंकि हम लोग उसको सेगमेंटेशन किए. ना जब हम लोग लेबलिंग परफॉर्म किए हैं, जब हम लोग लेबलिंग किए यहाँ पर, ना आप देख सकते हो दो कलर रीजन में इसको डिवाइड किया है. एक आपका येलो कलर रीजन और दूसरा आपका क्या है? ब्राउन कलर रीजन. ठीक है. Now how this labeling is performed? So we are used an algorithm to perform a labeling, okay, which is called labeling of an image. Okay, so let me try to explain how we will label. Okay, labeling आप कैसे करेंगे हम लोग सीखेंगे. So I hope it is clear still now for everyone. Yes, it is clear to everyone. Now everything is
Yes, sir.
interrelated. Okay, everything is related. We have find the neighborhood पहले, फिर उसके बाद कनेक्टिविटी पढ़े, फिर एजेंसी पढ़े, फिर उससे पाथ निकाले. नाउ पाथ से हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? कनेक्टिविटी फाइंड कर रहे हैं. फाइन. Now sorry, connected component find कर रहे हैं. Now suppose let us consider. Now suppose this is my image. Okay. Now suppose this is my image. So how now what we are learning, how we have to label the image. Okay, labeling कैसे assign करें. Now consider suppose this is my point P, any point P. ठीक है, and there is a coordinate called R. Now the coordinate called T. Okay. Okay. Now how हम ये लेवल कैसे करेंगे? ऑलवेज वी विल सपोज आई हैव टू फाइंड दिस पॉइंट पी. अब पॉइंट पी किस कंपोनेंट या किस पॉइंट पी को लेवल करना है, ठीक है? क्या करना है हम लोग को? पॉइंट पी को लेवल करना है. लेवल करना मतलब किस रीजन को बिलोंग करना है उसको आइडेंटिफाई करना है. तो क्या करोगे हमेशा? वी विल ऑलवेज स्कैन फ्रॉम लेफ्ट टू राइट. ठीक है, हम लोग स्कैनिंग स्टार्ट करते हैं. इमेज का स्कैनिंग लेफ्ट टू राइट स्कैनिंग करेंगे. नाउ विल स्कैन लाइक दिस. जैसा नो. तो पॉइंट पी को जब स्कैन करोगे आप, तो यहाँ पॉइंट पी को जब स्कैन करोगे तो उससे पहले हम लोगों ने देखेंगे 2 पॉइंट को ऑलरेडी स्कैन कर चुके हैं. ठीक है, जब तक आप पॉइंट पी तक पहुंचोगे, सपोज हम हॉरिजॉन्टली स्कैन कर रहे हैं इमेज को. ठीक है, कैसे स्कैन कर रहे हैं? हॉरिजॉन्टली स्कैन कर रहे हैं. तो हम लोग जब तक पॉइंट पी में आएंगे, वी आर ऑलरेडी स्कैन द पॉइंट आर. yes or no? Is it correct? Before reaching to the point P, we have already scanned the point R and we have already scanned the point P before reaching the point P. ठीक है, that means we are already assigned some level to point R. Point R को कुछ level assign किए हैं, और similarly we are already assigned some level to point T. So this is the first point you have to remember. अगर जब भी हम लोग लेवलिंग करेंगे हॉरिजॉन्टली करते हैं, ठीक है, लेफ्ट टू राइट. So when I want to level the point P, so I will come across 2 points which is just above the P and just in front of P. So this 2 point will be already having the level, because before scanning this point P, I already scanned the point R and point T. If I already scan the point R and T, then that must be ensure that I have already assigned some level value to the point R and the point T. First thing. Second thing, we will assume these are all the points are having 4 connectivity. Now we are assuming there are all the points, these points which are connected, they are having 4 connectivity. Okay, these are the assumption we are taking while leveling. Okay, clear? These 2 points are clear. These 2 points are clear. These 2 points are clear. क्या बोलेंगे? अगर इस पॉइंट पी को हम लोग लेवल करना है तो 2 चीजें ऑलरेडी हो जा रहा है. क्या? हम जब स्कैन करेंगे लेफ्ट टू राइट हॉरिजॉन्टल करते हैं, दैट मींस पॉइंट आर और पॉइंट पी ऑलरेडी स्कैन है. ये ऑलरेडी स्कैन है मतलब उसका एक लेवल हम लोग ऑलरेडी असाइन किए. फाइन. सेकंड थिंग हम लोग क्या अज्यूम किए? ऑल दिस पॉइंट और ऑल दिस पिक्सेल्स आर हैविंग 4 कनेक्टिविटी. ओके, नाउ द पर्पस ऑफ connected